Welcome to today's Retirees with Wayne Maslyk, Certified Financial Planner, a program designed to educate you on family-focused retirement and tax planning. Today's Retirees is brought to you by Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management and Allen Thorley Deloitte Insurance.
And welcome to today's Retirees with Certified Financial Planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. Today's Retirees is, but the last several weeks, Wayne, we have been talking about this economic storm that is coming. Just the last couple of nights, I was reading a book that you gave me, and this man is writing in this book that the federal deficit is now 70 with a T trillion dollars unfunded liabilities.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's just the 15 trillion or 16
that we talk about.
Yeah, but it really is. When you factor all the unfunded liabilities like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, government pensions, all that stuff, the number's huge. And in that book too, which we're going to give away free here in a little bit, they talk about how each person is liable for a certain chunk of that.
Yes.
You were just going over the numbers earlier, and
$250,000 per man, woman, and child in America as of this writing, and this is a couple of years old.
Right. Just to clear the debt.
Just to clear the debt.
Yeah, you know that's not going to happen.
No.
And you also brought up the numbers that he addresses the per taxpayer.
Yes, per taxpayer, it's over $1 million each.
To clear the debt.
To clear the debt.
Yeah, so we know that's not going to happen.
Right.
There are cuts coming. There are some things that are going to be pretty nasty. Europe and Greece, we're looking at that now. So folks have to do the right things with their money.
Right.
They have to make sure they don't make big mistakes. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the three main mistakes that retirees make.
Absolutely.
And we're going to show them how to avoid making those mistakes.
Well, I think sometimes we listen to a program like this and we don't pick up the phone because, well, we don't understand the numbers, it doesn't affect me. But these numbers, there is only, and this author points this out, to pay this debt, there is really only one thing that can happen, and the tax rates are going to go up. And possibly those that are retired, their retirement funds are going to be taxed probably more or differently than they've ever seen before.
Oh, absolutely. The Social Security will be taxed more. They're talking a lot about Social Security getting means tested. Means testing means if somebody has other means of income, whether it's a large nest egg or pensions from other sources, they're not going to be eligible for the full Social Security amount or any at all. It's coming. It's because the math doesn't work.
Right.
So we have to do the right things. Retirees, people planning to retire, have to do the right things with their money.
Absolutely. And
that's what this show's about. Showing folks how to do the right things and showing folks what not to do as far as making mistakes that could really affect their retirement.
Right. Now, and that's one of the things that, as we have talked over the past several months, and folks, we really want to encourage you to go to Wayne's website, todaysretirees.com. When you go there, look at all the past shows that we have talked about, and Wayne has explained a lot of ways for you to better get a handle on your money.
Yeah, if you want to learn about annuities, you can go to the annuity show. If you want to learn about life insurance, if you want to learn about a few strategies to lower your taxes, there's a show on that. You name it, it's on there, and they can pick and choose what shows to listen to or what shows to actually watch. We have it on video, and we have it on audio.
Right. And, we're not trying to frighten you per se, but we do want you to realize what is going to come down the road. And you can take the time to make a good nest egg for yourself if you follow advice from someone like Wayne, a certified financial planner.
Yeah, and we're not doing the doom and gloom thing. We're just making people aware that these are the numbers. There may be some things happening negatively down the road. And if they don't happen, I mean, if some new technology or new wave of revenue producing thing happens, you know, like the tech boom, you know, that's what helped get our debt and deficit way down. Something like that may happen again to change these numbers and make them look better, which means the folks will even be in a better position.
Right.
Yeah, so you kind of have to plan for both potential outcomes or even somewhere in the middle,
Right.
Which is what we help folks do.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break in a couple of minutes. Before we do that, we're going to be talking today about 3 common mistakes that most folks make with their resources and their finances.
People in retirement.
Retirement.
Yeah, we're not talking about 20, 30, 40-year-old people saving for retirement. We're talking for people in retirement or will be there within a year or so.
Sure.
And they have to make sure they don't make these mistakes because
Right.
they could end up working. We were talking about Lowe's earlier today off the air.
Right.
They could end up being retired, so to say, but then they're still working at Lowe's or Walmart or Home Depot because they have to.
Exactly.
So we're going to help folks make sure that doesn't happen.
Right. And a little bit later, we'll be showing you and telling you how you can get this resource for free, the Retirement Miracle. Wayne's going to tell you how you can build a nest egg. Not necessarily a golden one, but how to do this.
Yeah, and keep it.
And yes, and keep it. That is very important. And maybe hand it on down to heirs.
Exactly.
Down the road. So we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we want you to focus in, and we're going to talk about 3 common mistakes that retirees make with their money. Right now, we're going to break. Before we do that, let me just give you these numbers. 866-626-3990. That's Wayne's office. Call them, set up an appointment, go see Wayne, and he can help you not make these mistakes that we'll be talking about. We'll be back right after this.
The financial perfect storm is coming. High inflation, rising taxes, market volatility, longer life expectancy. Let certified financial planner Wayne Maslyk help you create a custom plan to navigate through the uncertainty, not just a sales pitch. Schedule your appointment with Wayne today by calling 866-626-3990 or visit today'sretirees.com. Remember to ask for the book, The Retirement Miracle, when you call. That's 866-626-3990 or visit today'sretirees.com.
Your finances can't manage themselves, but that doesn't mean they won't try. Bring all your finances together with the help of the one person who can, a certified financial planner professional, CFP. Let's make a plan.
And welcome back to today's Retirees with certified financial planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. Today, we are talking about the 3 most common mistakes that retirees make with their money. Wayne, you've been in this business a while. These mistakes, obviously, you see them quite often, don't you?
Yeah, daily.
Is that
I've been doing this, about 18 years now.
Okay.
And I see these are the 3 most common mistakes. I mean, obviously, folks make more mistakes. There's
Sure.
a wide array of things that could go wrong. Bad judgments, timing the markets, picking the wrong investments, getting the wrong advice. The first one I'd like to start with is folks take too much risk with their money in retirement. They have too much of their investable dollars, too much of their nest egg. We like to talk about a nest egg in investments that can go down.
So all of the years past, you've heard financial guys on television, on radio, talk about put your resources in a mutual fund because you spread that risk over hundreds and hundreds of stocks, companies, so you've minimized the risk and you're all right.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with mutual funds. I mean, we use no-load mutual funds in our planning and in our strategy. So yeah, the good thing about mutual funds is you do spread out into numerous stocks and bonds and various mutual funds. But those are still risk investments. Those no-load mutual funds can still lose money.
Right.
When we have a 2008, or we have what happened in the early 2000s, and then various times in the past few decades,
Sure.
the market goes down. It can't go down on all your money. If you have all your money in the market, whether it's mutual funds, stocks, bonds, real estate investment trusts, whatever, you're going to feel pain, you're going to get hurt, and your nest egg could shrink, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50%. And some people can afford to have their accounts go down that much. Most can't.
Right.
So you have to make sure you have the proper amount at risk. So if catastrophe does happen, it's only on a portion of your nest egg, not the whole thing.
Sure.
And too many times I see folks with all their money in the market. They'll have some money in savings, and then everything else is in risk investments, whether it's stocks or bonds. And by the way, bonds aren't safe. People think, well, I have safety, I have bonds. Well, you'll see as soon as interest rates start to go up just how safe bonds are. Those bond values are going to drop considerably.
Okay.
So bonds are a risk investment. Stocks, mutual funds are a risk investment. So having too much money in those types of investments is a major mistake I see a lot of people make.
So when you say too much money, I mean, the person sitting there and they're saying, well, Wayne, you describe two. How much is too much money that I'm supposed to have in there?
Yeah, it does vary by person. There are people that have higher risk tolerances than others. Some people feel, well, I just have to be in the market. There's no other place to be. Interest rates are 1% down at the bank. What else should I do? And there are other alternatives. So some people are doing it just because they think that's the only option. But if you have a true plan that's worked out, and you're supposed to take some risk. What degree of risk? That's a different show altogether. You want to be aggressive. You want to be moderate. You want to be conservative. We're not talking about that. We're talking about just risk in general. And we talk about the rule of 100 on the show a lot.
Right.
The rule of 100. Simple explanation. If you're 60 and retired, 60% of your money should be in safe accounts. The remainder, which is 40%, you can go ahead and take risk with.
Okay.
So a 60-year-old, 40% of their money, if they have $1 million of investments, they can go ahead and take risk with $400,000 or so. If they have $500,000 of investments, they can go take risk with a couple $100,000.
Okay.
And if they're more risk tolerant, they could adjust that number. It's a number they pick. As long as they know it shouldn't be all their money.
Right.
They should have a portion in safe accounts, earning safe returns that are above what inflation is. That's the key. You got to be above inflation with your safe money. I'm not talking about leaving it in a 0.5% savings account.
Right.
But with their risk money, they have to tone it down. And too many folks, they keep investing in retirement like they did as they were coming up the working scale. 40, 50 years old, at the plant or wherever they're working, their money's in a 401k, and they just leave the thing in those types of investments in retirement. When they're done working, done saving, that's all they got. And a lot of people are actually using that money to live off of. So if the market drops like it did in 2008 or like it did last summer in 2011, and they're pulling money out of it, it's a double whammy.
Oh, yeah.
Because their market's taking it away and they're taking it away.
Right.
So if that happens over too long of a time, they're going back to work or they're changing their lifestyle.
Right, absolutely. And that, to me, this is all the more reason to pick up the phone and call your office and sit down and, with your advice and your experience, figure out what your risk tolerance is. Everybody has that.
Well, item 2 on the 3 mistakes that retirees make is folks not working with a certified financial planner.
Right.
So that kind of ties into, you need to work with a certified financial planner. And I do get specific on the show about working with a CFP, certified financial planner, because there's a lot of other people they can be getting investment advice from out there. You have banks with folks sitting in there giving investment advice, so-called investment advice.
Right.
What they're doing is they're selling investments.
Exactly.
They're salesmen. So too many people out in our industry are salesmen. They're annuity salesmen, they're life insurance salesmen, they're mutual fund salesmen, they're stock salesmen, right? Stock and bond salesmen. They get paid every time they, sell the client a investment. Those are brokers. They're salesmen. So you need to work with a true planner, a true financial planner, a certified financial planner that's going to put the client's best interest first, not the organization the salesman works for, i.e. the bank, the brokerage firm, the mutual fund company.
Absolutely. We're going to explore that a little bit more when we come back. Pick up the phone, 866-626-3990. We'll be back right after this.
Your finances can't manage themselves, but that doesn't mean they won't try. Bring all your finances together with the help of the one person who can, a certified financial planner professional, CFP. Let's make a plan.
And welcome back to today's Retirees with certified financial planner Wayne Maslyk of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. Today we are talking about the 3 most common mistakes that retirees make with their money. Number 1, taking too much risk with their money.
Yeah, having too much of their money at risk.
At risk.
So those are 2 different things. You can have your money invested in risk-type investments, and again, when we talk risk, it's if you can lose money from month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. If your account can go backwards without you taking money out of it, that's a risk investment.
Okay.
Okay, I don't care if it's gold or silver or real estate or mutual funds, stocks, bonds. If you can go backwards, it's a risk investment. Then there's how much risk are you going to take? You're going to be aggressive in a real volatile investment, or you just be conservative. We talk about bonds, some bond type portfolio that will go up and down a little bit. Still a risk investment, just conservative.
Sure.
So I'm talking, the main point I'd like to make is people taking risk with too much of their money, having too much of their money in risk investments. And then the next step would be, with their risk money, taking too much risk with it. You follow me?
Right. Okay.
And then the number 2 was not working with a certified financial planner.
Now, as we were discussing that as we left for the last break, certified financial planner, when we think about that, when I think about it, it's not, I know now, but not knowing anything about the business, you're in the business, what is the difference between a certified financial planner and the guy down at the local name over the door brokerage firm or investment firm?
That's a good question. To be a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, you have to go through about a half a dozen segments of training: taxation, insurances, securities, ethics, and those take a couple, 3 years to get through. Then you have to pass a 2-day, 10-hour exam. And it's pass-fail. And you have to pass all the segments or you fail.
I see.
So you just can't get, so you have to be fluent in all the areas.
I got you.
Other licensing out there, like an insurance license. You can get your insurance license with a weekend course and go take a test. They want you to study for 40 hours, so to speak, and then go take your test. Well, depending on how much you need to study, you can become an insurance agent pretty much in a couple months, literally. You can be the same with a securities license. If just to sell mutual funds, a couple months' time, you have a license.
I see.
There's different letters behind people's names. Some of those letters you can go get with a weekend course. Here's $500. Now you have XYZ behind your name, so you look like you know something.
Okay.
There's a lot of that going on. So you have insurance agents that can sell all types of products that say they do financial planning, but they're just an insurance agent.
Gotcha.
That tries to do financial planning. They're not a certified financial planner.
Okay.
There's a CFP board, Certified Financial Planning Board of Standards,
Okay.
where we have to follow certain things and put the client first. Those other folks don't have to do that. They don't have to put the client first.
Okay.
Now, there are some new laws coming through Congress right now that's going to make them put the client first.
Okay.
Isn't that something? Shouldn't the client be first anyway?
But you would think so.
There has to be laws passed so
Right.
folks do that. That's
Right.
why. Okay. There's also a certain ethics guidelines that a certified financial planner has to follow. So all these people out there, you go to banks and get stuff. You can go to brokerage firms and get stuff. You can go to insurance agents and get stuff. You want to work with a certified financial planner, not a person that just sells insurance annuities. You got a lot of annuity salesmen out there, a lot of insurance salesmen, a lot of mutual fund salesmen. They get paid a commission. They buy a mutual fund from you, they get a commission, and they're gone. Right?
Yeah.
You own some of those from before we talked about. Right? Guy gets a commission, you never see him again.
Yeah, 10 years and you don't see them again, right?
Right. So that's the difference. You want to work with a salesman, or you want to work with an advisor that's going to help you through your processes.
Right.
So number one mistake, too much money at risk. Number two, not working with a certified financial planner.
So we're going to take another little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the third most common mistake that Wayne sees and that retirees do with their money. At the end of the program, we're going to tell you how that you can receive this book, The Retirement Miracle. It's a brand new book by Patrick Kelly. Fascinating information here. I read this recently, and there's a lot of good information in there.
Yeah.
Some of it is kind of scary, as we alluded to at the beginning of the show. $71 trillion is the national debt. Very scary. We'll be back right after this. Pick up the phone, 866-626-3990, and set up an appointment with Wayne.
The financial perfect storm is coming. High inflation, rising taxes, market volatility, longer life expectancy. Let certified financial planner Wayne Maslyk help you create a custom plan to navigate through the uncertainty, not just a sales pitch. Schedule your appointment with Wayne today by calling 866-626-3990 or visit todaysretirees.com.
Your finances can't manage themselves, but that doesn't mean they won't try. Bring all your finances together with the help of the one person who can, a certified financial planner professional, CFP. Let's make a plan.
Welcome back to this edition of Today's Retirees with certified financial planner Wayne Maslyk, Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management. Today we are talking about the three most common mistakes retirees make with their money. Number one, too much risk.
Too much of their money at risk.
Too much of their money at risk. We got to get that right.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and then, the thing that follows is, some folks with their too much money at risk are then taking too much risk with that money.
Right.
So there's different degrees of risk. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Mainly, they have too much of their money, in some cases all of it, in risk-type investments.
Right. Number two, not working with a certified financial planner.
Right. Too many folks out there just working with annuity salesmen, mutual fund salesmen, stock salesmen.
The guy at the bank.
The guy at the bank's a salesman. The bank. You think the bank has your best interest in mind? You think they want to help you, or you think they want to make money?
My dad, Wayne, always told me that the bank always works for my interest.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to pay you 0.5% and charge you 12% on your credit card.
But isn't that true?
Right, that's right.
We're not throwing off on banks. I'm just playing a little bit.
But working with someone that sits at the bank selling products, variable annuities, mutual funds. They're salesmen.
Right.
Okay? You want to work with a certified financial planner. You got to get all your ducks in a row. Passing assets to heirs, lowering your taxes, keeping your money in proper investments, helping you plan for retirement, income stream planning, all that stuff. It's not just, oh, this is a good investment. Here, why don't you buy this?
Right.
So there's a lot involved with putting together a plan for somebody. Which brings us to 3, the third mistake.
The annual review.
The annual review. A lot of folks just kind of, they invest some time, maybe a few years back or 10 years ago, they met with someone, put some things in order, ran some numbers, did some projections, moved some money around, and that was it.
Right.
They haven't looked at it since. They may look at their statements once or twice a year, but they don't go back in to the CFP, the planner's office.
Right.
You have to do that. I mean, how often do you change your oil in your car, Richard?
Between 3,000 and 4,000 miles.
3,000 and 4,000. And how long does that take you?
20 minutes.
20 minutes, right? You do it yourself, or do you go in?
No, I go in. I don't have a place to dispose of it handily.
So you got to actually decide, oh, geez, I got to pull in, sit there for 15, 20 minutes, or if you go to like a quick lane at a dealership, 30 minutes or so. And you got to do that a few times a year.
Right.
Right? Sometimes 5, 6, 7 times a year in our case, right? We drive a lot.
We drive a lot, yes.
But people, they'll do that for their cars, but for their financial plan and their investments and their estate,
Right.
you can't even get them to spend that kind of time once a year.
Right.
So it's important that once you bite the bullet and put some plans in place, meet with a professional, that you then go back to that professional at least once a year. I have folks come in quarterly to my office. We have some folks come in monthly.
Wow.
They like to track things. Depends on the person. Depends, on the size of their estate too. But at least once a year, preferably a couple times a year, review the plan. Any changes? Are there health changes to the family?
Right.
Is there a new grandchild maybe?
Right.
Is there a change of heart? Somebody get laid off, or someone going to retire?
Right.
A lot going on. You need to keep up on it.
Absolutely. Well, Wayne, we are out of time, unfortunately. Friends, to get this book, make that phone call, 866-626-3990, The Retirement Miracle. Call, and Wayne will send one of those to you.
Free.
Thank you for being a part of today's Retirees. We trust the information discussed on today's Retirees has been a benefit to you. To schedule a no-cost or obligation appointment with Wayne, please call our office at 866-626-3990. A free newsletter is available by calling our office or visiting our website, todaysretirees.com. That's todaysretirees.com. Today's Retirees is a service of Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management, Wayne Maslyk Certified Financial Planner, and is sponsored by Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management and Allen Thorley Deloitte Insurance. The information on today's Retirees and information on our internet website should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as the receipt of or substitute for personalized individual advice from Wayne Maslyk or Great Lakes Benefits and Wealth Management.